How you doing, YouTube? Nat with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. Not just any review, though. Paper toweled mystery beers. Oh, the mystery beers. How I love thee. This beer comes courtesy of Mark from Ohio. Thank you very much, brother. He saw my, I don't want to say plea, but he saw my, I love mystery beers. I'm running out of mystery beers. Please, somebody send me mystery beers kind of thing. And I am always running out of mystery beers, so I will never ask you people out there to send me beers. But if you ever do, send me mystery beers, please, so I can keep mystery beers going. It's totally dependent on there. I feel like I'm doing like a PSA for, what is it, like PBS right now or something like that. Anyway, he ended up sending me a box full of mystery beers. He did it really cool. He has some nice rubber bands here. He's got a nice paper towel. No idea what's in there. But you got this little kind of paper hangy taggy thing here. He blacked out the top, so I assume they had the title of the brewery on there. I feel like I've seen this before. I don't know where that's from. I feel like I've seen that before. But I still don't know. I want to say Pretty Things out of Massachusetts. A very similar kind of banding like that, but this is what happens when you do the mystery beers. You start guessing based off the little bit of circumstantial evidence you can have. But anyway, let's dive into it. No idea what it is. Just paper toweled. Put it there. Crack this open. Don't look at the cap. Sometimes the cap will have stuff on it, and you can kind of figure out what's what. Try to pour this so it doesn't soak into the paper towel. Okay. Well, she be doc. So we're looking at a stout here. It's a stout, or it's a sour stout, or it's like an imperial porter or something. Didn't generate much head. This is kind of a fatty glass here. You had about a quarter pinky finger malted malt ball airing on the side of where I like my coffee to look like color, but it's been dissipated to the point where it's non-existent now, and she be dark. That is close to motor oil. Not full-on motor oil, but pretty damn close. Oh, I'm seeing rainbows in there, man. Rainbows. This is going to be fucking rocket fuel. Let's get a nose. I kind of feel like there's an oxidation going on there. That could be a barrel thing, but I feel like there's this rich maltiness, definitely a spirit barrel involved, and a bit of oxidation going on. Yeah, a bit of soft cardboard, wet cardboard, not necessarily kind of like an old papery thing, more of a wet cardboard vibe. And then there's chocolate and there's marshmallow vibes in there. Now, whether that marshmallow is coming off from a vanilla, from a barrel, from a spirit, that could be. I'm getting spirit vibes from it, but I'm not getting huge spirit vibes. It's more of kind of like an experience thing to where the combination of what I'm getting in the nose is like an aged, barrel-aged beer that's not super over the top. So I'm not necessarily getting Keed or cherry cordial or anything like that you typically expect from bourbon barrel-aged beer or something like that. It's just more of kind of like just a feeling, a gut feeling. Yeah, a little bit of plummy fattiness. You can tell I could see this verging into like a Belgian stout, having some kind of active yeastiness going on it besides being a roasted malt. So it's absolutely still. I mean, there's nothing going on in this beer right now. I mean, there's no carbonation, nothing. Kind of excited. Let's dive in. Cheers. Definitely a barrel. Definitely has age on it. It's got to be an aged beer. There's no way this is not an aged beer. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pump the brakes on that certain shit. It's a barrel-aged beer. So, a lot of things can happen when you barrel-age beers. The more moving parts you have in a beer, the quicker it can go sideways. So, I'm not saying... It tastes like it has 5... If it was stable and it was what it was supposed to be, but didn't have anything crazy going on, but a bit of oxidation, it tastes like it has several years on it. But that could be just because of how the beer moved based on it being a barrel-aged beer. I almost want to say it's a double barrel-aged beer. We're going to double down on this. A double barrel-aged beer, because I'm definitely getting like rich cherry kind of bourbony vibes from the taste, but I'm also getting like a slight kind of dark grape vinous from it. So I'm almost getting a little bit of dark red grapey wininess and a little bit of bourbon barrel. So I almost like, this is double barrel aged beer. Kind of fuck me up that way. There's vanilla in there. There's marshmallow in there. There's a little bit of coconut in there. So you're definitely getting a rich, big portion of the barrel. Now, as far as the beer goes, it's got to be a stout, right? I'm asking myself. But I could see it as being like somebody's like old ale blended with a quad. It has blended vibes to it. Let's put it that way. And that's, I guess, where the whole double barrel thing comes from. It doesn't taste like a stout. It doesn't taste like a quad. It doesn't taste like a big, huge, rich, dark ale or a porter. And it tastes like there's more than one barrel involved. It tastes like a multi-blended beer. It tastes like somebody took, you know, their Russian Imperial Stout and blended it with a barreled quad. And then each of those kind of saw their own barrel. That's what I'm getting off this. In that it's like 3 or 4 years old. That's the vibes I'm getting from. That's where I'm going to land. I think that's all I have. It's tasty. Sans the carbonation. There's not much as far as carbonation going on. It's super tasty. Super chuggable. At the same time, I think it's up there. I think it's 10, 11, 12% alcohol by volume. Tasty, delicious. As I said in the outset, that banding reminded me of Pretty Things. And it kind of has Pretty Things vibes to it. So, I mean, they've been out of business for a couple of years now, so the age thing would land, but it probably isn't. He's from Ohio, so chances are it's from, well, I won't ruin any of their mystery beers, but he sent me beers that aren't from Ohio, let's put it that way. So let's get the unveil going on here. If it is a Pretty Things beer, which again, I don't think it is, it's not one that I have had before. So what do we have there? We have, okay, this is pretty fucking interesting stuff here. We have La Tentadora. Okay, I've never heard of this beer. Never. I don't even know if that's the name of the beer or the name of the brewery. It's a smoked stout. I get the smoke portion of the show. Not that it's huge now, but I can kind of get that with cherry snitcher, cherry cordial, smoked Spanish paprika. This has to be aged. 9% alcohol by volume. Over here, brewed and cellared by the Bottle House Brewery. This is another beer. He sent me another Bottle House beer. I remember. The other one he sent me, it's another mystery beer. By the time I post this one, that one will be posted, so I'm not spoiling anything. On the side here, we have La Tentadora is a complex multi-layered stout brewed with smoked and dark chocolate malts, aged in tomfoolery bourbon barrels with cherries and smoked Spanish paprika, subtle paprika, fruit and smoke flavors, meld with cocoa and oak character to create a rich, tempting beer. Salud. I want to know the age of this beer. I really want to know the age of this beer. Again, like I said, it's a barrel-aged beer, 9% alcohol by volume, bourbon barrel-aged. So it could be relatively new, but it has to be at least just by looking at the label. First off, the label's fucking fantastic, but if you look, it's kind of beaten up and a little fucked up. Looks like it's been tossed around for a bit. It looks like it has a bit of age and weatheriness to it, but man, that label is fucking beautiful. Yeah, man, look at that label. Look at that drawing of the dancer there. Simple, plain. It reminds me of an old port bottle or something like that you would find. Yeah, this is the second beer by these people that he mysteried me on, and they are both fucking delicious. So this brewery, who I've never heard of before, is absolutely fucking killing it. Absolutely fucking killing it. This is delicious stuff. This should be like wait in line whale shit. You know what I mean? I actually said that about the first one he sent. Before I even unwrapped it, I was like, this is the shit people wait in line for. For me, this is the shit that people find after the brewery becomes famous because it's been sitting on the shelves for 5 years. That's what this is. So yeah, super tasty stuff. I mean, it's weird for me to really kind of get really hot and bothered and really excited over beer that has this low carbonation and this decent amount of oxidation, but it's super fucking tasty. It's a super tasty beer. I mean, the paprika. Sure. There's a slight little spiciness. There's a big wood component to it. I didn't even talk about that. It's not necessarily drying, but more wood. The smoke malts, I can get that, but it's not coming off that big. It came off as an aged beer. Some of those spices can actually confuse me and make me think beers are older than they are. That could be the reason why I thought it had a bit more time on it than it did. Or does, or maybe it actually does. I don't know. But yeah, this is interesting, fun, delicious, tasty. This is beer. This is what beer is. It's fun doing this kind of stuff, especially beers of this level. Doing them in the mystery side of things, just because there's zero pretension. There's zero. I'm just telling you what it tastes. I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna say? The only thing I kind of assumed it might have been a fucking Pretty Things beer just because of that banding, but I knew it wasn't. And yeah, it's super tasty, super drinkable, super chuggable. It is. Even with that fucking carbonation being super low, it's just, it's a delight to drink. And interesting. It's so, these are the beers, sorry for making this fucking mystery beer so fucking long. But these are the beers that I really get excited about that breweries are doing. You know what I mean? Like, I love a big, huge, hazy New England style IPA. I love it. It's tasty. It's delicious. But, you know, you don't see people doing stuff like this, you know? You know, big stout, bourbon barrel aged with delicacy. Or delicacy. I'm selling something's, you know what I'm trying to say. Delicate. With a delicate touch. And we're also using a bunch of unique flavors that you tell me what Spanish paprika, I know what paprika is. I use it all the fucking time. I don't know what Spanish paprika tastes like. I don't know if there's a big difference between the two. But yeah, just to get these kind of different flavors and to use them in a very kind of cool, deft way, because nothing's overpowering, nothing's over the top here. It's very kind of purposeful. The only thing is, like I said, if the carbonation was more, if it was still there, it would just make this beer epically more better. At the same time, it's still super tasty. I have to stop talking about it because I'll just keep picking parts of it to kind of run off in the middle of nowhere and keep talking about it. So what do we have? Let's recap really quick. Nice mouthfeel, sans the lost carbonation. Wood vibes. Cherry cordial vibes. Chocolate vibes. Kind of floating somewhere between like a stout and something else, like a blended thing going on. And that bourbon barrel aging comes off really nice in a vanilla kind of component sort of thing. At the same time, not being boozy. Just tasty, delicious. Dry, woody. Awesome. Is it one of the better barrel-aged stouts that I've had as of late? Yes. Even with the carbonation being how bad it is, it's still worth drinking. So there's that. Value and availability, no idea. Maybe Mark can chime in and leave you with, if you like what, well, you like this. If you like good beer. If you like interesting beer, if you like not layered, nuanced, complex, fancy words for a not so fancy beer. To me, this is people beer too. That's the thing. It doesn't come off pretentious. It's good beer with depth and character, and obviously made with love. So if you like that in a beer, there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers in Beer Massive. Massive Beers, you type that in for the Google to find me doing the social medias. Beer Massive, you type that into the Google to find me doing the podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice Spanish paprika beer right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.